Nuovarden is a dimension of wide-open mystery and infinite discovery created by our very own DungeonMisterTy and published by Adventure Slang Productions. You can learn all about this dynamic game system and wondrous setting at adventureslang.com.
Yeah, is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cap. Very well. Episode recap. The party descends into the Golden Valley where they recover valuable items from an unfortunate deceased, a fallen Kakoots member of the Harvesters faction. Moving farther into the valley, the group wanders through broad canyon floors between towering sandstone monoliths, observing the swirling winds and uncharacteristic heat of the strange landscape. At one point, the small whirlwinds turn into something more ominous. Energy forms of static electricity with random blue forks of lightning strike out with malice. A short battle finds the heroes victorious and newly informed of their abilities as a team, including the fierce, powerful Sif and the bizarre shadow behaviors of Fellavaai. For their part, Fellavaai is left somewhat disturbed by the new encounter of a recent and devastating adversary, and shares her trauma with his allies as their new bond gains strength. A momentary frolic in an azure pool yields defensive benefits and a restorative break before the group presses on. The mysterious valley unfolds before a shuddering sensation. Then the percussive thump of an approaching sound eventually reveals a massive being, a stone figure some 20 shins, or 30 feet, tall. The colossal figure speaks, part whimsy and part terror, introducing itself as Lutu from Umult. The figure offers an alliance and warns the party of a threat to Nuovarden, and requests aid in recovering a relic called the Mind of Eos. An alliance formed, the party rests before heading west toward the edge of the valley, the Green Sea, and a foreign chain of islands called Shak Shak Ilauplap, pieces of the whole archipelago. There to find a ring of islands called Venu Talle in the old Lamplack language. While the party prepared for the twilight repose, Zorik heard a familiar voice. A vision of his great-grandfather, Beos Asuri, appeared for mere breaths, admonishing Zorik to help Lutu, to pursue the power of mind, and when the time comes, to let them through. And so, we return. In the light of the new phase, Lutu towers overhead to see you off. Remember the words for the Oracle, and they will trade. I will wait here for your return. Players.
How do we propose to get there? To the islands, I mean. Sif could fly, presumably, yes, but Fellavaai and I might be somewhat challenged in that respect. And Dixie, too.
They're not ships we could take.
What?
Ships?
I had once heard that there were ships in the sky long ago.
There's no ships in the sky. Only on the sea.
Then we take the ones in the sea.
Those are very, very far north.
Are these ships? Is it dangerous?
No.
Dixie says, no, it's just water. It's just my family.
That's a good point. Maybe they can help us find safe passage. We travel north?
No. Wait. Maybe.
Lutu says, west to the edge of the valley.
Right.
West.
Maybe we swim.
But there's a
I don't-
desert to travel through west. We can't swim through the desert. I'm pretty sure of that, right, Dixie? But are you saying?
Well,
Oh,
no, I mean, maybe I could. I don't, what? No, not all of us. Just me. No, maybe not all of you.
okay. How far of a journey across the desert is it for us? Swimming or walking or flying?
Flying would be slower.
Certainly for me.
Dixie shrugs. It depends on how far away we are, I suppose.
There's only one way to find out.
Go west.
Go west. Well,
We shall see you soon, Lutu. Thank you.
Lutu nods slightly in your direction. And as you head west, Lutu sits down, the rough gray figure fading to a single cone of rock, forming an odd gray point of stone among the red and gold sandstone of the unusual valley. As you journey through the valley towards the western edge, not knowing how far you have to go, you find that it's only a few thousand breaths journey, not terribly long, before the damp sea air is noticeably cooler as you near the coastline. Another 500 breaths, you can hear the scraping rhythm of the waves as they brush the shore, and a faint, tangy sensation hangs in the air. Upshore, you spy the huts of a coastal village where numerous figures move about. A dock features a fleet of 8 ships of various sizes, both single and double-masted, as well as smaller watercraft that bob upon the water. And a small sign which says Catcher's Reef.
So they have him here too.
well, do we?
We should just go ask.
Yeah. We may have to barter for passage.
I can take care of that.
Oh, good.
So as you approach the village, you see a variety of ships out in the harbor, as I said. The Proud Bow, Leviathan's Bane, Sanctakra, Arid Oasis, Secret Knowledge, Careless Whispers, Troubled Waters, Just Kidding, and Smorsh.
How did we decide which to choose?
Just kidding. Definitely.
I'm okay with that. Dixie, Fellavaai, just kidding.
Dixie's like, about what? I think I missed something.
I think it's supposed to be ironic.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's ironic, like they are dumb?
No.
Just sort of. More like intentional.
Humor.
Humor, yes.
Remember when we
Funny.
talked about? Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe when we approach the captain and crew, we should use our newfound skill of laughter right away, just to let them know that we understand. We get it.
Yes. I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
As you get to the boardwalk that parallels the docks, the nearest figure you see is a blue Lenai standing on the walkway and watching as you approach. The small figure wears a pale shirt, torn and ragged, no pants, and worn hide boots, fluted open at the ankles and likely too big for their feet. A curved bladed bronze short sword hangs on a cord from the Lenai's right shoulder. They squint their left eye and tilt their head to the same side. Each balled fist rests firmly on their hips, and their elbows angle out.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
They squint their other eye and turn their head to the right. Are you looking for passage or what?
Yeah.
Yes.
They turn
It
around and
worked.
apparently expect you to follow.
Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, Sif.
We had good laughter.
Yes.
Great job,
Very
Fellavaai.
good plan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You follow the small figure over, and Dixie says, "There's something funny about that one."
That's
No, it's not that kind of funny. It's different.
Oh.
He's wearing boots.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Probably kick him off
Is-
because that's not helping his attitude.
He a cousin?
No, they're probably just a regular old member of the family.
Oh.
Hmm.
Boots.
maybe that's why it was so easy for us to gain acceptance, because they're family of yours.
Mm.
Well, but that's the thing about it. They didn't talk to me.
Oh,
They didn't even
That
get
is
to say,
strange.
"Hi." Maybe it's my fault.
I wouldn't jump to that conclusion, Dixie.
Hold
I
on.
mean, you didn't do anything
Dixie runs
wrong.
off ahead. Hi. And the other Lenai turns around and then looks a little bit put off and marches back. And they're far enough ahead of you. You can't exactly hear what they're saying, but there's a little bit of an exchange. And Dixie laughs. Oh yeah. And then you pick up that there's a little shift in the demeanor of the blue one as well. And then they look past Dixie at you and squint again, and then turn their head, and then just wave and march back. They march down a plank towards one of the ships. They march you down toward the proud bow, actually.
Oh well.
Oh,
And they lead you to the foot of the gangplank. And the blue Lenai says, "Just wait here," and then goes up the plank. Captain Peary. And just a moment later, a female Kakuts feline appears at the top of the gangplank. "Travelers, are you looking for passage across the sea?
yes, Captain.
Yes.
Where might you be headed?"
The islands.
Huh? Any particular
Shark,
location?
Yilaplap Archipelago.
Yes, the archipelago, not far from here, really.
Oh, is it dangerous?
Not if you stay on board.
Oh,
Ha ha.
of course.
You know, any sort of travel can be hazardous, but we'll take care of you. And when you look at the ship isn't huge. It's a medium-sized boat compared to what you're seeing in the harbor, but it does have ballista at both ends. It has one mainsail. It looks like a substantial cargo hold, and then lodging at the fore and aft. Though if you know anything, well, you probably don't know anything about sailing. I don't know if any of you would. You can make a
I-
called roll lore if you want to try.
Sure. Why not?
Oh,
Double
sure.
twos.
Not a sailor.
No. Probably never even
Ooh.
seen a boat this big before.
I got a 4 and a 3.
I got a 4 and a 1.
Okay, so you have heard about these ships, and Sif said as much, at least to the north. The lodging at the fore and aft are typically for crew, but it's likely that you could rest in the cargo hold. So it wouldn't be luxury, but it would be sufficient.
And
The theory
do
says, oh, go ahead.
sorry. Do I know what culture built this ship?
I don't know if you would. That would be well, it's probably a combination of Kakuts and Wotan.
Okay.
And it's, in fact, about that time that you spot a Wotan on board who moves across. You see the upper part of them. The Wotan. I have a note on the Wotan somewhere, but it is buried in my descriptions, which are vast and many. The Wotan that from what you can see so far, it looks like they have 3 arms, which is not uncommon. But that's the most that you can tell is they're not engaging with you right now. They're moving up on board, taking care of whatever it is that they're taking care of. But the captain at the top of the gangplank says, so passage is 4 value per day per individual.
Sif?
How much?
4 value.
I'm gonna start rummaging through my things. 4 value.
I have these, and I'm gonna pull out a spore flower.
So you offer 1 spore flower. Go ahead and make a called roll lore for your barter.
Oh, come on, be better than last time. A 4 and a 2.
Okay. Well, that'll be good enough for your passage.
Right.
Is it possible?
I will dig in and pull 3 more out and hand it to them.
Questions, Art?
Well, I was going to perhaps offer some song to inspire the crew and as perhaps my contribution.
So Zorg, don't forget that as an Asgal/Asgar, you also have there's innate value in your tattooing. And I don't mean the empowered tattoos, just your basic tattoos.
Sure, that's true.
And these are sailors.
So I could lead the crew in song as part of my offer for passage, and if anyone is interested in a nice new tattoo, I could also perform some tattoo services for members of the crew.
All right, you may make your Caldroll lore barter offering.
A 4 and a 1.
Captain Peary says, that is an offer. Some singing, some fresh tattoos. Ought to cover it for the lot of you.
I pocket my flower.
Except for the one.
Yeah.
Yes. Come aboard. How quick are you looking to leave? Soon? Right away?
As soon
If
as
we can.
Yeah.
Very well. All right, so you clamber aboard. No one wanted to perhaps get anything while you're in this village?
Maybe fill up water bags. My second water skin.
There are water barrels aboard, so
Yeah.
Ty, is the ocean salt water in this world,
Yeah.
or is it? It is. Okay.
It's fairly much the alkaline water on the large body, and inland is the sweet, which we're all familiar with. So.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fellavaai goes to the edge of the ship and just looks out over the vast amount of water. Is just very much staring.
Are you okay, Fellavaai? Have you been on a boat like this before?
I have seen a boat before. I have not stepped foot on one.
How do you feel about it?
Good. It is strange.
You can feel the surge of the water beneath your feet, even though you're standing on solid wooden planks. I'm really nervous. I'm sorry.
Are you?
It seems really dangerous. Yeah.
It feels a lot like going to the void. My body is stationary, but everything else floats.
It doesn't really help calm me down a whole lot, but thanks for trying. I mean, I'm sure we'll be fine. We have a good captain. I'm going to look over at the captain just to see what they're doing at this moment. Captain seems competent.
Yeah, she's giving directions to what appears to be two crewmates, the Blue Lanai and the Wotan. And Dixie is following the Lanai around as well, and like chatting and chattering. And the captain says, "You there, small one, join your crewmates or your traveling companions, and I'll speak to you all in just a moment. And then we'll be out of here." And so Dixie slumps over and stands next to the rest of you. And in just a few dozen breaths, the captain and crew greet you again. The plank is pulled up, and the captain says, "I am Captain Peary. This is Tension Cable, my bosun, and Wavem, my first mate. So we'll be your crew. We will arrive in 2 darkenings. However, when we do get to the bay at Venu Talle, we'll just anchor in and you can go ashore when the sky crystal alights again. So plan for the better part of 2 phases of travel. Will we be waiting for your business and return? Or will you arrange other transportation to return to the mainland, to Catcher's Reef here?
Is there a settlement in Venu Talle? Like a town, a village of...
Venu Talle is largely unsettled except by a group of oracles. The Selku reside there, although where exactly it's unknown. We are a part of a fleet that delivers goods and wares to the shores of Venu Talle, but once in a while, pilgrims like yourselves are dropped there for your pilgrimage or whatever business you have with the Selku. I myself nor my crew have been into the inlands of the island chain.
You mentioned the Selku oracles their location is not well known to you?
As I understand it, no Selku village itself is well known to outsiders.
We are to seek out an oracle ourselves, and I wonder if we will have trouble finding them, or if they will find us, or if they're an oracle, maybe they know we're on our way. How does that
I
work?
wouldn't know.
Is there anyone in town here that might have some knowledge that would help us discover the oracle that we seek?
No one I could point you to. The oracles, they keep close to the robe, if you know what I mean, unless there is an exchange of value.
Close to the robe. Of course, we know what that means, right, guys?
I mean, they obscure their information unless there's an exchange of value.
That's totally what I thought you meant.
Knowledge is their value.
Yes. Mine is in material goods and quality tattoos. And good song.
Yes.
Well, enough time for that. I'm sorry.
Fellavaai. This is
Hello,
Zorek, Sif, and Dixie.
A pleasure to meet you all.
Thank you.
But my question does hang. Will you be returning forthwith, or will you need to arrange other transportation for your return? Because there will be payment required upon departure, of course, if we wait.
We haven't discussed this in great detail. Perhaps we could discuss on the voyage?
Of course, there's time. There is time.
Tell me, Captain Peary, how did you come upon the proud prow?
I was raised a sailor on the North Island. This one, and she points to Sif, would know about the homeland. But I worked my way through the ranks, learned how to sail myself, proved myself, and I won the ship in a wager.
Oh. Fascinating.
Yes.
A game of chance.
Yes. But all of life is chance. And you either win or you lose. But either way, the outcome is irrelevant.
I do not believe life is all chance.
No. Why?
Well, there is coincidence, I suppose, but fate in some other ways.
Well, my fine blue friend, fate is the day you stop taking air into your lungs and become food for the next generation of living organisms. Would you disagree, Sif?
Interesting.
It's about this time that the three of you realize Sif has not said a word to this captain and is basically cowering before her.
Sif, don't be rude to the captain.
You're shy. What pride are you from, Sif?
Vaksu.
Ah, well, so am I. So relax. Don't let the cat get your tongue. It's safe. Yes.
If it's safe, Captain, I wonder, these devices that you have on the bow and the stern of this craft, they appear to be perhaps tools of weaponry?
Well, yes, of course. There are dangers abounding in the Greater Garden, of course.
Oh, wait, like, what kind of dangers?
Unknown creatures, in the sky, in the water. Pirates. Thieves and filchers. Who knows? Who knows? I haven't gotten this far without being prepared. Of course, right? But our voyage is about song and art and companionship and safe travel.
And tattoos.
Yes, you have not been on the water before, I see, Zorik. That's my estimation.
You would be correct, Captain. This will be my first voyage on the dangerous open seas.
Would you agree that experience comes from taking the first step?
It always has for me.
Well, you are about to step onto the fine sea of Nuovarden and sail to Venu Talle and meet with oracles and bestow tattoos and sing songs. What is there to be fearful of?
When you put it that way, Captain, it sounds quite nice.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
It's just the unspeakable horrors that you mentioned earlier with the beasts and the pirates and but songs and tattoos will keep me occupied with my thoughts.
Just behind the captain, wave him. The lean eye goes, just a little bit audibly, not a huge loud huff.
Fair. That's fair.
Captain smiles a little bit, glances back over at Wavem. You should all rest assured, should we need your assistance in some unlikely event, we should all be able to come together and pull through just fine.
Of course, Captain.
You have an able-bodied lean eye who seems to make friends quickly. Wavem, don't you agree? Yes, Captain. And we have a technologist on board for those needs we have, where technology is of the primal essence, and it would be on a vehicle of the magnitude of the Proud Bow, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, Captain.
Absolutely, Captain. And we have a creature of flight. Sif, you said. Vaxu, a fine pride name. Oh, there is nothing for us to be concerned about. We have song to calm our spirits. We have, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Person with the eyes that I have not seen?
Fellavaai.
Fellavaai. We have your companionship. What else do we need?
Good weather?
Weather rarely changes. I'd rather appreciate when it does storm from time to time, don't you?
I've
Makes
seen a
us
storm
enough.
before.
Yeah.
I have.
Dixie's like, oh, yeah. I really like it when the family visits. Wavem relaxes a little bit. Captain Peary says, my first mate would agree with you. And I would agree with you. It breaks up the monotony. It really does.
It's hard to meditate when it is storming.
Well, we shouldn't anticipate a storm. It's unlikely in any regard. And if a storm does occur, then don't meditate during that time. Can we agree?
Yes,
Turns
Captain.
back. Yeah. Oh, there we are. There we are. Yes. Yes. You are already making yourself a great crew member. I appreciate your presence already. We are going to have a great time. It's not a long
Yes,
travel. It's not a long distance. Yes, Fellavaai. Yes, you are getting into the spirit. Sif, I'm sure you'll come around. Dixie's like, I'm around. I have a feeling you're not going to sleep a lot, young one. Small one, or I don't even know how old you are. If we're ready.
Yes, Captain.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, make yourselves comfortable. You can set your stuff in the hold. There's just a short ladder down into the hold. You can make yourselves comfortable down there. Don't mind the water. Just avoid it for your comfort. It's the boat's not leaking seriously. It's something all ships do on the water.
Yes, Captain.
Oh, yeah. You didn't have to say it that time, but that's fine.
Of course, Captain.
Go ahead. Make yourselves comfortable. You are free to roam above deck or rest in the hold and eat of the foodstuffs that we have available in the half barrels. Take the water as you wish from the full barrels. And before you know it, you'll be standing before oracles for whatever reason you'd want to do that. But any questions from the travelers with us? Yes, Sorik.
Captain, sir, when would you like the songs to begin?
Let's save those for maybe the last 1,000 breaths before the darkening. Maybe it'll carry us over into that first edge into the twilight where we are no longer able to see the great horizon for the twilight. Fair enough. Yes.
Splendid idea, Captain.
Yes, Auric. Yes, Fellavaai.
Do you choose a direction to go and wind up there, or must you steer?
Oh, we guide the craft, of course. Wavem is very useful in this regard. We follow the currents that carry us in the direction that we go. When the water moves and it encounters a mass, it creates a sort of current, a flow. The water moves in certain ways. So we ride those directions. We push the craft. Yes.
The water guides you.
The water guides us, yes. And the ship carries us there.
The ship is your body. The water is the void.
They nod to themselves like, yes, sagely. Like, this makes sense.
And Piri is just like taken aback by that comment and doesn't, as if that had never occurred to her before. Well, with that,
would you like to talk?
And they will guide Sif away.
all right, crew, move about. And the others scatter off to do their thing. And with that, the proud bow casts off, and you sail gently into the calm waters of the Green Sea. Again, Captain Piri motions to the ballista at the bow. If someone wants to take charge of that thing, just speak up. It's best to be prepared. And she points to the aft. That one as well. Thought I'd mention it one more time so that we're all in agreement.
How does it work,
Yeah.
Captain?
Tension cable can show you. Tension cable, please. See to the travelers. Anyone who is interested in learning how the machinery operates. The tension cable comes trundling up. This is an individual that has just a few loose rags tied, like one around the waist, one over the shoulders of a wooden skeletal frame. We would say skeletal because obviously it's sort of like bone density. That is also fitted with little bits of stone and metal. They have a plate over their face that's held on by a couple of rusted rivets and little press, just a little bit of an arced press for an approximation of eyes that aren't exactly level. And they have a finely carved wooden feather sticking out of the top of their head on the side. And an orange sash and a blue just like a rag over their shoulders that covers the collarbone area. They have a series of swivels at their wrist and at their midsection and on their legs. As I said, there are 3 arms. And tension cable says, this one is called tension cable. And this one will show these how the machinery operates. Anyone interested, please join this one. This one is tension cable. And they ascend the bow, the front ballista, and then turn to face anyone that follows them and begin going through how to operate the equipment. Tension cable tells you, should this equipment come into need, this one will assist any of these that participate in firing the mechanism. However, this one can only be in one place at a time. So any of these that wish to participate with the other weaponry should probably agree to work together or to bring Wavem to bear to assist these. Any questions?
I'd be happy to learn tension cable. Thank you.
Very well. And tension cable gets to the work of showing you how to load it. The ballista are already loaded, and the nearby are 3 more thick log-like bits of ammunition. So tension cable points out there are 4 shots for the front, 4 for the aft. It's unlikely we would need more than half for each, if at all. Yes, Zorik.
Tension cable, sir. I'm just wondering if you've ever had to fire these in a real live situation before.
There have been times, not on this craft. That's not true. I have fired these ballista from this craft in time of need.
What kind of a time was that exactly?
It was exciting and exhilarating. The captain says so.
The captain was excited and exhilarated.
Yes, and so were we.
What was your target?
The particular time when this one was required to fire this ballista, which was not this ballista, but the one at the aft, was the time when the Proudbow was being pursued by other craft, a ship that was intending to get within proximity to board the Proudbow. The captain said, this will not stand, and we shall not allow it. This one said, yes, captain, and manned the equipment and fired the armament, and ultimately the craft was sank.
The other ship was sank?
Yes. And I will admit that was exhilarating.
Ships do that.
If you fire a projectile of this size into the water line where the planks keep the water from coming in, and it breaks, then the water comes in. And then the ship gets heavy, and then the water fills it up, and it goes down and down and down. Yes, Zorik.
Tension cable, sir. Just curious what happened to the members of the crew on the ship that was shot at and effectively sunk?
This one does not recall. Captain Peary said, sail on. And this one said, as did Wavem, yes, Captain. Yes, I don't think I have this one's identifier.
Fellavaai.
Fellavaai. You have a question?
2. Are you a Wotan?
This one is indeed a Wotan. A good eye.
I have heard, but I've never seen. You are very interesting.
Tension cable turns 360 on their waist swivel and then puts out all three of their arms
Ha
and touch
ha,
their head.
ha ha ha.
Did Fellavaai like that?
Yes,
Well,
I like learning.
and so now you have learned to use the ballista.
Hmm. Yes.
Thank you.
This one.
Sif?
Yeah. Ah. Oh, where did this ship come from?
The Proud Bow, this ship,
Yes.
from Captain Peary.
No. Location wise.
From Catcher's Reef.
No. When it first was built.
This one does not know the name of the captain from which Captain Peary won the vessel. This one was brought on by Captain Peary after that.
So you don't know who made the ship.
This one does not know who made this particular vessel, no.
Do you think Wotan did most of it?
This one has thought perhaps likely most of it. If so, this one could have done a better job, perhaps, had this one been present in the shipyard when this ship was made. But perhaps what this one has observed was not made by these, but by others.
Okay.
Not Wotan is what this one means.
Yeah. I got it.
This one is very pleased to be in the presence of such intelligence among you all.
You're the second Wotan I've met, so you seem the same.
Technically, these are the same.
That's kind of what I meant.
Very well.
Thank you.
This one is merely fulfilling the task for which this one was asked to accomplish.
Accomplished well.
If it very Wotan.
Yes.
They are.
If
yes.
these need anything from this one will be nearby. Obviously.
Thank you. Sif, are you okay?
There is. It is not the captain's fault. They are what they are. They are Kekuts, and I am Keku, and I am Bird, and she is Cat. There is a instinctive nervousness around felines.
I fear you have, from what I have seen, an instinctive fear of much.
No. Felines are slightly different.
Oh,
They are kin to you, are they not, Sif?
They are even family, but they are still feline.
so your family differs from Dixie's family.
We are beasts. So we have internal internal fears and rivalries, but they do not come to blows. She will not endanger me, but I cannot stop the instinct.
You cannot find a means to overcome this anxiety that you feel?
Can you sing a song that drives fear deep into your heart?
I could if I chose to.
Would you keep it there for forever?
No, I would not.
Now you do not have a choice. You must. That is my closest explanation.
Well, I agree with you on one thing. It seems like Captain Peary is cordial with all of us and pleasant, although I do get a sense that they have underplayed the grave danger that we're putting ourselves in by setting foot on this vessel. But
she is very very much underplaying how much danger we're in. Yes.
She is confident.
Yes.
Is Zorek's
courage.
fear like Sif's fear?
I don't think so.
No.
I intend to overcome my fear of the ocean, Fellavaai. I mean, I sort of have to.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of the ocean, not what is in it?
I think both are appropriate fears.
And on it.
If you do not fight the ocean, it will not fight you. As for what is in it, I am unsure.
I hope you're right. I'm going to have to just put my trust in the captain and this capable crew and my friends and song and food and whatever else I can find to keep me busy.
I will see if bad things will happen. I will let you know.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Then we can be prepared. We can man the ballistas.
There is a chance it will be happening whenever I realize, but we'll see.
Oh, so it's not much of a heads up, really. More of like a, hey, it's happening now sort of thing.
It depends.
How did I know you were going to say that?
We are friends.
That's true.
And really, look out there, Zorik.
Yeah?
Do you see anywhere to hide?
No, not really.
So danger we will see coming.
That's reassuring, I would like to think.
Unless it comes from below us.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, I was really hoping you wouldn't go to that because I was thinking it. I appreciate your honesty, Sif. I really do.
Dixie is over on the aft with Wavem and tension cable, and you hear you first realize Dixie's over there because you hear like, "Oh wow!" from across the ship, and then you hear Dixie say, "Can I ride it?"
No, he wants to ride the ballista.
When we fire it?
I think so.
It seems that tension cable and Wavem are both like,
yes, I know. Yeah. suppose we should relax and rest.
Eventually, Dixie wanders back over and says, they have these really cool things on the front and the back. These really neat. You see them? They're called ballista. And if you sit on them, you can fly way out there and land in the family, but they won't let me. I don't understand it. Why?
It would be hard to come back.
It can't go that far.
Mm,
From the sound of it, it fired at another ship before it could get close enough.
And they
So-
sunk that ship. Like it disappeared under the water with your family members.
Yes. Your family hugged them.
That's what I mean.
Like real tight.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can hug them and they could hug me, and then I could probably just make a bubble, float back, or I could
Oh,
bring up a big air push and just fly back here after a while.
what
Once
if
we reach the archipelago, you could fire from there towards the land.
Okay.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No,
What happens to you if you are going too fast and strike the water too hard?
Well, maybe I can probably do something so I won't. And if I do, then maybe I'll be smoke next time.
water is liquid.
Right.
If you hit it fast enough, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Fellavaai
matter
is
anyway.
about physics.
Dixie's like, I think everyone is concerned too much about something that doesn't matter.
As someone who flies, I think I know a little bit about physics.
Maybe
I'm just-
Sif could fly you out.
I don't want Sif to fly me. I don't want to ride on the thing. Is it-
we could ask the captain once we've completed our journey to see if perhaps
Captain
they would
already
let
said
us.
no.
Oh,
Probably better.
We should
Everybody
listen to the
said no.
captain.
Everybody said no.
Well, Dixie, this is a ship, and the captain is the boss.
the captain is the eye. Oh,
What?
The
The
eye.
captain has two eyes, and so does Waven, but Waven keeps one of them closed all the time. Just switches back and forth, especially when they're looking at you. that's what Waven said.
oh,
What is the eye?
the leader of the commune.
Of the ship.
leader. Yes, the eye of the ship.
That makes sense.
Captain Fury.
Oh, your leader is called the eye.
Yes.
Oh.
Is that why they say aye, captain?
Do
Maybe.
I thought I heard someone say that earlier.
The Wotan did.
Oh, I should speak to them more. They seem to know some about our culture. I feel that ache again. And they just place a hand over their chest.
That is strange. though your leader is the eye, and my leader is the watcher. Both things look
at different things.
very different things.
I think I go sit now. And I think Fellavaai just kind of walks off.
Zorak, I don't mean to leave you, but I'm going to go perch on the mast.
I'll just hang out with Dixie. It's fine. Hi, Dixie.
Okay.
Hi, Zorak.
Sif flies up to the top of the mast and just plops down on it. Yeah.
Up in the Sif nest.
Up in the Sif nest.
The ship sails on, and after several thousand breaths, you sense the impending darkening. You can sleep on the deck or cram into the hold, offers Piri. The fore and aft are for the crew only.
Could I meditate? It's been 2 phases, if not one more, since everything happened. And while he was unable to actually give his friends, his family, the rest that the Iksha believe in, she's waited that time. And with Zorek's worry and Sif's comment of the captain being overconfident and downplaying the potential threats, Fellavaai, I think, would like to see what the void shows her.
Yeah. I mean, if you're asking the captain doesn't care what you do with your time. But if you are approaching the darkening, you can use the darkening is a 10,000 breath period, and 8,000 of it needs to be in complete repose. But you've got 2 hours to work with there, where you can fiddle around with whatever prep or tasks or whatever you want to do that are light work. So
I think
with
while
your
Zorek is playing, they'll probably go down to the underneath
hold
the hole.
Yeah, I think
Zorak,
Zorak. Yeah, I was just going to say Zorak would have. What's up, Vamp? Zorak would have composed a song to as a means of sort of coping with their hesitancy and a little bit of their anxiety associated with this voyage, their first time on the ocean. But it would also incorporate elements of the story that Tension Cable told them about this pursuit. And, so it would incorporate some of that sort of personal history of the ship as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then use that to sort of, if I was going to try to link it to a status effect, I think it would be something like trying to improve like a lucid state for people who are concentrating on different elements of the voyage, or I think that would be kind of what I would be going for.
So you're not merely entertaining, you want to try to manifest?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would try to manifest, because he's nervous. So he wants to try to do what he can to, make sure that everybody's concentrating and doing, at their peak performance during the voyage.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead then, make a call roll song. See how you do.
I rolled a 3 and a 1, but I would like to go ahead and use primacy to bump that to 4.
Okay. All right. So give me a little bit more detail about this lucid state. What's the
so it's a sharpness and clarity of mind. So there can be, when you're doing things over and over again at work, for example, these guys are working, you're just kind of going through the motions. You're not fully present in the moment of what you're doing, and that's when sometimes mistakes can happen or things can get overlooked. And so I think what Zorak is trying to do is to create that very present mindfulness amongst the crew members so that they hear this song and it sort of inspires them to like a sense of pride in their work.
Okay. So this will this would give anyone doing their next task a decreased difficulty. And I think Fellavaai is the only one who's actually doing something that we can focus on. So Fellavaai, with your meditation, what is your objective with your meditation? And if you are trying to achieve something very specific that you need to roll for, then you can do it at decreased difficulty as you hear the tones of Zorik's song filtering across the deck and down into the hold.
I think that normally for Fellavaai, they're used to the commune, which is typically like complete silence, just like the rustling of wind through trees, and like feeling the sea beneath and the music is surprisingly lulling as opposed to distracting. And so I think that they sit in their usual position on their heels and close their eyes, their hands resting in their legs, and just try to disconnect their mind from this place and connect to the void and see if, based off of their connection to the void, based off of the what's the word I'm looking for? The symbol that they received for their name and that connection that they have there, try to figure out what future grief or tragedy or dismay might be connected to our future.
Interesting. Okay, so at a minimum, how far forward are you trying to sense?
I think the next 2 days of this voyage.
Okay. All right. You may make a called roll mystery at decreased difficulty, which means that a 3 on either die is a success.
That's already a 4 and a 1. So
Okay.
4 and a 1.
Okay. So as you're meditating and you're trying to perceive something that hasn't happened yet, particularly with regard to danger or with some sort of malaise, there is a foreboding in the darkening. You can't identify specifically what it is, whether it's environmental or an intelligent threat or something even more ambiguous. But it does seem that tonight offers some sort of risk.
I think as they kind of get that feeling, as it's less images and sounds in this connection and just the rile of that emotion within her chest, as their connection usually ends, it's like snapping a rubber band back and they're suddenly in the present. And he will go to the eye, the captain, as they would if they were in their commune, to let her know.
Fellavaai, what are you saying exactly? And how do you know what it is that you're trying to tell me?
What do you know of the Ikshi? The Iksha?
That you know, or they know, allegedly know, things that I do not know.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I know sailing and hunting and fishing and gambling and adventure. But
I know very little of that.
You don't, yeah, which is interesting because here you are.
Yes.
But
Fate.
there's something I don't know how to describe it because I don't know really. Just strangeness. I've heard you can turn invisible at will.
Yes.
No way.
I'm gonna try to go invisible.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and try.
A 2 and a 3. I'm gonna use primacy turn 3 to a 4. And I think what the captain sees is their shadow, which throughout this conversation, whether or not they notice, has been just slightly pulsing and reaching in places that Fellavaai is not. But it basically like crawls up Fellavaai until they're that void that the party had once seen, and just like in a snap is no longer there.
Captain Peary says, okay, just come back. All right. I have seen it for the first time. Are you there? Did you leave?
I am here.
What about, oh, okay, just the voice. Just the voice alone. I don't like it. It's not that I don't like you. I don't understand it. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
This is joy.
There is a thing, actually, there is a thing I can do. I'll show you. And she moves over toward the aft where the wall comes up in the back for the entrance. And there is a shadow in the corner where the sky crystal isn't hitting because it's being blocked by the back of the ship. And she says, watch me. And she steps into the shadow and disappears from your sight. And then she calls out from the shadow, can you see me?
No.
She puts an arm out into the light. There's my arm. Pulls it back in. Can you see me?
You know shadows.
And I think Fellavaai like gets very close to where they were.
Give me a cold roll body at increased difficulty.
Oh no. That's 2 1s.
Okay. That's okay. Not a hazard, not a danger. You cannot see her. And this space is not that big. It's, you feel like if you just reached in, if she's actually there, you could probably touch her because there's nowhere else to be, but you cannot see her.
You know shadows.
She steps back out again just to your right. Yes, the Kakoots are of the animals. And how often have you been surprised by an animal just standing there watching you and you didn't realize it was there until suddenly it was?
At least once.
So yes, the thing that you can do is just a little bit more strange to me, but I also understand it in regard to unique abilities.
Do you know this? And he's going to gesture to his shadow. And he's going to start thinking of his eye. And it starts just kind of shifting and shaking where Fellavaai is not.
An illusion, a trick of the light. No?
Nothing that I am doing intentionally, no.
Do
It
all...
gets stranger.
Yes? You're calling it strange?
Yes.
Ugh.
I think strange means not usual. Is
Yes.
that? Yes.
Yes.
And
That's
Fellavaai
very
will
strange.
take off their straps, the ribbons around their ankles.
and the shadow just takes off.
Yeah, it heads streaking across the ship, and yeah, the crew is like, "What was that?" And they're looking up in the sky for like a bird flying overhead. Sif, you look down and you see a shadow just streaking across the deck of the ship from one end to the other. Zorik, I'm not sure where you're at, but as all the tension is being raised and people are shouting, most people looking up in the sky to see what's casting the shadow, and you catch sight of this streaking form with no apparent thing that should be casting it.
Yeah, I just sigh.
I think Zorik instinctively goes to one of the ballistas before he realizes what's happening.
So you hop up to the ballista. Fellavaai, your shadow looks like it's at risk of just slipping over out of the ship.
Oh no. Tying the back.
I will have you spend a primacy to end that effect.
Yeah. And I think Fellavaai is kind of looking to the captain with hope.
The captain's more like, what exactly should I do with that?
It's just a long sigh. I was hoping that you, with your connection to the shadows, might have been able to.
A hope I can understand. However,
Yes.
my ability, the ability of my people. Now, this is something your friend Sif doesn't have, but the ability of those like me, it's more of an environmental interface or overlap. What you're doing is, I can't explain it. Nope.
Neither can I.
Well, is it a danger to the Proudbow and its crew?
No, but there is a danger that is coming.
From your shadow?
No. Zorek is nervous. And there is much outside of our world, as I'm sure you have just seen, that many do not know, and that even us that have a connection are uncertain of. And in that connection, we are shown things. We feel things. And the last time I had that feeling, things went very bad.
So this has to do with you.
Not exactly.
I don't know if that's better or worse. How can I prepare for what it is that you're telling me?
For my people, it is to be aware, not to be relaxed or overconfident. To see, to hear.
Forewarned is forearmed.
Yes.
Thank you for the information. We will watch.
Of course. Should I tell them? Yes. Yes, and
Don't alarm them. I don't need more skittishness than we already have. We're just going to make our voyage and get there. But we will watch.
yes.
You know your friends better than I do. So I'm trusting you to help me manage any concern.
I think Fellavaai has a tightness in their chest of seeing this figure as an eye of sorts, not theirs, but reminding them of their eye, Naya Shael, and once again kind of having that designated place of notifying and being there and assisting where he can. And she just nods.
All right. Gradually, the phase wears on until the darkening. Ktyria eyes the northern horizon on the starboard side of the vessel. Purple lightning arcs through heavy, bulging lavender clouds. A distant rumble of thunder tumbles several breaths after. And Ktyria says, or Ktyria doesn't say anything, but makes eye contact with you, Fellavaai, and then nods toward the storm. And I think with that, let's take our break.
I heard the word storm, and so did Zorek. Oh boy. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for hanging out with us in the chat. Great to see so many folks hanging out. Vamp, welcome in. Great to see you as well.
Hey, Vamp.
Phantom, Raven, all the friends. Thank you so much. It's great to see you all. We will be back in just a Heart of Adventure. What's up? We will be back in just a couple of short minutes. Hang out. We'll be back.
All right. So this storm is building behind you and to the west. Let's see. That wouldn't be behind you. That would be. Let me look at my notes again because I'll screw that up.
How close is this storm?
Let's see. Gradually, the phase wears on until the darkening. Ktyria eyes the northern horizon on the starboard side of the vessel. Purple lightning arcs through heavy, bulging lavender clouds. A distant rumble of thunder tumbles several breaths after. So it's not on top of you. It's just over yonder.
And it's north of us, so it's...
Isn't that the direction that we're traveling?
No, we're headed
northwest.
Yeah,
with a smidge of north.
A smidge of north.
So we agree we're heading north then.
And the captain, Zork, sees you observing.
Captain?
I see it. Yeah. It should be all right, she says. And she turns her gaze toward the west and says, we'll just need to keep ahead of it. By the way, Zork, I think you owe me a tattoo or two before we arrive. There's tomorrow. Yes, there is tomorrow's phase.
Don't you need to like focus on the storm and this what do they call it? This ocean swell?
Well, all right. For now, get your rest, and we'll take care of everything else.
I think Fellavaai would try to gather all of her compatriots together and say, we should not rest yet.
Why? What do you know?
Dread.
Dread.
Dread. This is what I know. It is better to be awake when catastrophe strikes than asleep, where it could smite you.
Catastrophe?
Catastrophe is a strong word.
It's a big word.
It's a big word. Tragedy.
Also a big word. And strong.
Less big.
But we can agree it's still big.
I simply am telling you what I felt from the void, which was dread. And so I would rather over-exaggerate the dread than under-exaggerate it, because being over-prepared is better than not.
Sif, does it look like that storm's getting closer to us?
I'm up on the mast.
Sif, does it look like that storm's getting closer to us?
Sif, don't go to sleep.
Sif is asleep.
Shit.
I think Sif is sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beak down into the feathers. Just a ball of feathers right now.
Dixie's leaning against the railing on the starboard side and just arms out wide going, yeah!
Dixie, is it coming this way? Is it getting closer?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah. Cool.
You think it'll get here before we get where we're going? Because I don't want to miss it.
I fear that we have different wants. I'm going to go wake Sif if I can.
So Sif is up the
Really
mast.
high.
What is how high up are you, Sif?
I'm at the top.
Tops. Oh, that's probably, I don't know how tall the mast would be. Let's find out.
I have an idea.
They're pretty tall. They're pretty high up there. It's higher than you could teleport to, for example.
It's higher than I could manifest anything at.
No, I would say so. You can manifest the area of your maximum area, which at your evolution is a 8-foot cube or 16-foot cube if you get high success, at a distance of 128 feet maximum. The mast is not 128 feet.
Then I think what Fellavaai wants to do, and from what I'm reading of what you can do as common manifestations for mystery, is summon.
So you're going to summon a creature?
I would like to summon something that will shake him.
Okay. So summon allows you to, let's look at the description just to be sure.
Yes, I don't have that up in front of me.
I'll go to the rule book, which is available
Ooh.
now at adventureslang.com or by the link. Summon is a mystery manifestation. The manifestation examples in the rule book are examples. There are other things that the characters can attempt to do within their discipline as well, such as Fellavaai with the meditation to try to interpret a future event, which is not explicitly defined in the rules, but is certainly something that would fall within the mystery discipline, and was a nice application of that manifestation. So you want to summon, which, there we go. Success allows the summoner to call forth a number of creatures equivalent in total IS or injury scale to the summoner's current IS. What is your current injury scale?
7.
Okay, so you can bring forth a number of creatures that have a total injury scale combined of 7 max. So, for example, I'm thinking a Suihu might be an option because you could bring a bird in to go up and flutter Sif's face or something like that.
I really like that.
So a Suihu is they have 1 injury scale. So you could bring 7 of them if you wanted to, if you're successful. A whole flock of them. Or there are probably other things that you could bring in that are a little bigger, but also potentially more dangerous. So what kind of creature do you envision, or because it's going to be a creature if you're going to summon something?
Yes. I do think I really like the idea of the Suihu because it is so high up that in Fellavaai's mind, the only thing that can reach that is either something that's very strong or something that can fly. And Sif is right there, so bird.
Yeah. This is a Suihu, by the way.
Ooh.
That one just happens to be inhabited by a Starnum.
Love.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and try to manifest that. When you manifest the creature, it will... I shouldn't have closed the book. It will obey... it will take 1 action, I believe, for you. So let's confirm. The summoner may spend 1 action die in place of an action roll to control the summoned creatures, which can take 1 action and move at the end of the summoner's turn.
Perfect.
Okay, so...
Rolling.
So you may roll 1 or 2. Yeah, it's a called roll, but if... How are we doing this? Well, you can do a called roll to summon them, and then once they're there, you'll have to hold 1 die out to control them.
Can do.
Okay.
Okay. Another 4/1.
Okay. So you bring all 7?
Yes, I think what Zorek would see is Fellavaai whisper Rawl. And as they do, they kind of take their hands and separate the space, but not in front of them, further up. In front of Sif, just a rift begins to tear and form as these like ink jet black birds emerge. Some of them look like they might have been injured at one point, but are still gifted flight in this moment, and start just like cawing and whirling around Sif, trying just desperately to wake him.
Okay. Yeah, Sif, you're all of a sudden being battered by wings and bird noise and startling you awake.
I'm gonna lash out at one of them out of pure instinct.
Okay. Just make a called roll body.
Yeah. Double force.
Yeah, that's all it takes. You
Nice.
whack one, it goes, and it as Zorik and Fellavaai are looking up at what's going on, this bird comes spiraling down and lands on the deck. Thud.
Storm, there's a storm. And as that said, the birds are like drug back through the rift, and it swiftly closes.
Awesome.
It's not dark, it's twilight, but when Sif looks down at you, his eyes are as large as they can get, and he's just staring at you, not saying a word.
And then there's a flash of purple light behind you, Sif, that lights up the deck below.
I'm gonna slowly turn my head and look.
As you slowly turn your head and look, the plum twilight sky is blacked out, and there's just arcs of purple lightning occasionally peeling through the darkness. And then about 20 breaths later, rolling thunder across the sky.
We have a problem here. Captain, we have a problem here.
We're staying ahead of it. We'll stay ahead of it. Get some
Will we?
rest.
Why is the captain so calm? Is this normal?
Perhaps
She has seen storms before on the waters. Sif, would you?
Yeah. Drops to the deck. Oh, what?
Sorry
Storm.
for the rude awakening. Yes.
I see it, and what was that?
A storm?
Lightning,
No,
catastrophe.
No,
what was
that-
the other big word? Tragedy.
Tragedy.
Is
Dread.
that is that? What was that?
Oh. What was it again? Sui?
Sweehu.
Sweehu. Got it way mixed up. 7 Sweehu.
Flock of Sweehu.
What?
Sweehu. You know the Sweehu.
They didn't look like any Suihu I've ever seen.
The void.
Okay, so we have birds, and then we have this massive storm that is right there.
The storm is not on us, so I'm not worried. But
It's
Fellavaai,
close.
how do you do that?
Would you like to try?
No.
Oh,
They were screaming.
yes. Well, they were injured at one point, and I presume died and were somehow found within the void, and then I was able to use their assistance to wake you.
This is all really fascinating, but is anybody else concerned about this massive storm that's closing in on us? None of you. Am I the only person here? I'm gonna look around. Am I the only person here who is concerned about this?
The boat is
very
rocking.
concerned.
Yeah.
The boat is rocking as there's a little bit more energy around it going on, and Dixie's over just there at the edge, hanging over the edge, going whoa, 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 all by themselves.
Dixie getting seasick that would be awesome.
That'd be really funny.
It's not 100% clear whether or not they're getting seasick, but they're making whoa, whoa, whoa sounds.
I'm very concerned. That is why I am taking the actions that I am.
Let's go back to the dead birds you pulled out of the void to
Is that
attack
concerning?
me. They were dead, and you pulled them out of dead.
Ty, I'm going over to
Perhaps.
some rigging, and I am like tying myself into the rigging while they're having this very esoteric conversation about the void. Like the void, who cares about the void? There's a freaking storm over here. We're just like tying it. Oh, hey, Dixie, help me out here.
While they're arguing, if you want to look at Owlbear, let's go ahead and position yourselves on the ship.
Oh gosh.
I like where I'm at. I'll take myself off the mast, but.
Yeah, I think this works. I think this is good.
All right.
Having this moral conundrum with Fellavaai.
Captain's standing over here at the top of the stairs. Wavem is here at the aft. Tension cable's at the fore. And the captain says, really, just go sleep. Sleep it off.
That's what I was doing before undeaded birds came at me.
I mean, they were living sort of when.
Yeah, they were screaming.
Yes, how else to wake you?
A peal of thunder shudders overhead, and before you manage to respond,
Yeah.
Wavem shouts, "Captain, something's coming in fast!" And Tension Cable whips around and looks out over the ocean and says, "Where did it go?" Choose your combat order.
In answer to to that question, Sif just kind of looks at Zorik and goes, probably under us.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to decide.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Zork will go first. Because he seems to be the one who's paying the most attention to this impending doom.
The tragedy, the catastrophe.
I'm going to have Dixie go second and let
Yeah,
the two
I'll go third just because
Fellavaai will go last.
I'm amped now.
Yeah.
Nothing like some adrenaline of Sihu coming at you
Yeah,
to
what a wake up call.
get you pumped.
So you gather at the deck and scan the dark scene. Let's see. Is everyone where they want to be standing? Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. The ship bobs unsteadily and the sky flashes with the distant storm overhead. The roiling clouds do not seem to have gained on you in the time since the storm first appeared, yet neither have they receded. Suddenly, rain pelts down like icy stones. A distant rumble builds, the sound of a rolling mountain gaining. Purple lightning forks high above, and the rain drives into your eyes. Storm clouds blot the plum twilight black, accentuated with streaks of lightning and ominous thunder. Your shipmates likewise peer into the dark and glance fearfully at each other. A sudden flash, and an enormous avian materializes immediately off the starboard side, wings reaching wide, the tips of each appendage extending the width of the cargo hold, the underside white, the color of pure energy. Flickering blue electricity crackles between the gaps in its feathers, the sprawl of its talons, the gap in its open, razor-sharp maw. Bam.
Oh no.
And Dixie's right there, so...
Not our boy Dixie again. You can't kill him while he's away.
Dixie must make a challenge roll body. As this thing, when it lights up, there's this pulse of energy that you all feel thud into the boat. And a challenge roll is a single D4. The target is trying to hit a 4, and primacy can be applied if you have the discipline. Dixie does not have the body discipline. This is a challenge roll body, so Dixie needs a 4. I got a 3.
Primacy. You cannot
Dixie can't use primacy because it's a body.
Don't have the discipline.
Dixie does have a key point. Dixie has 2 key points. Dixie will use a key point to make that a 4 as the energy thunders into the side of the ship. Dixie stumbles back but keeps their footing, and then the creature tries to bite. So I am going to make a 2-die attack roll. And I got a 4. I got a 4, and I'm going to use a primacy to bump the other 3 to a 4 for a high success.
That's messed up, Ty.
Dixie. Oh. I don't know what Dixie's IS is right now, but Dixie takes 6 injuries.
6?
Yes.
At least down to 1.
Right.
Yeah.
So we will mark Dixie at 1 IS. The giant bird flies past Dixie and strikes at, let's see, either Sif or Fellavaai. It'll be 1, 2, Sif, 3, 4, Fellavaai. 3, Fellavaai with 1 die. That is a 1. I will go ahead and use primacy to bump it to a 2, which prevents the reprisal.
Would Dixie actually have 2 hit points because they had armor from the
Yeah.
Yes.
fountain water
Good.
thing?
Good memory.
Call. Yep. That armor is gone.
The note taker.
Yes,
Yay.
well done.
Well, you just reminded me that I have it too. So
I got you. I
well,
got you.
check your sheets too. That should be recorded.
yep, good stuff.
All right, and then let me look at this description. Yeah, as it flies overhead, it takes a swipe with its talon and misses, and then swings around and up into the sky where you can see it as a glowing, crackling form.
How high in the sky?
Twice as high.
Movement is
I mean,
65 feet. So
I can fly twice as high, but whatever.
it moves.
Take a look.
Let's grab the measurement tool.
It's in a book.
Maybe after this storm there'll be
A reading
a rainbow.
12. Say it goes about 20 feet or 10 shins. No, not quite 10 shins, 7 shins up. Over the boat. And I need to also get a couple of NPCs into the order. Oh, interesting. C and W and all right. So the captain says, "Man the ballista," and tension cable and Wavem said both at the same time say, "We are on it." Zorik, you are up.
All right. Well, Zorik sees his companion Dixie take a massive blow from this creature and kind of lurches forward instinctively, despite the fact that they had sort of wrapped themselves in the rigging and tried to tie themselves in for safety. They realize that they have no idea how to tie a knot, and they just sort of slip right out of it, as if it wasn't even protecting them at all, and races forward to Dixie. Dixie, are you okay? Come away from there, and try to like bring them back towards the center of the ship by the stairs for some cover.
Yeah, and Dixie's like, "What was that?"
That's a big bird.
Very good. Okay, so you want to pull him back.
Yeah,
To
I can
where?
get back to like right here.
Yeah, that should be within
Can I
range.
take some cover behind the stairs, maybe.
Okay. All right, so that's what we call force movement. So you use your action option to do. You can use one. You can just spend one of your dice to do that, and you
Okay.
still have a die.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to hold my second die for an assist potentially.
Okay. You may also use it as an action roll if something comes to mind when you need it on somebody else's turn.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a held die. All right, that's Zorik. That takes us to, before Dixie gets to go, tension cable takes aim and fires.
Mr. Tension Cable.
Nope. That is a miss. Wavem also fires. And Wavem is element, so that is a miss. So shoom, shoom, 2 of the ballista are fired. They both miss. And Wavem, or tension cable, says, "We need assistance reloading." And that is their turn. Dixie,
Could I use my held die to go race up to help tension cable with that?
Yeah, you can. So you can use your die to do an extra movement, which will put you with tension cable next time, which will allow you on the next turn to help tension cable load and fire instead
Perfect.
of waiting around to load.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So you spend that die, and then Dixie wobbles to their feet and clenches their fist and shoves their arm in the air, attempting to manifest a punch at the bird as it flies overhead. That is a 4-1.
Nice.
Ooh.
So this water fist materializes in the rain and in the air, but you can see it take form in the strange ambient light that's all around. There's lightning flashes and a bit of the twilight and this crackling energy and the white light of the underside of the bird, and this greenish fist manifests and punches into the bird, causing 2 injuries. And then Dixie leans against the stairs over here, catching their breath. All right, that's Dixie's turn. It takes us to the bird.
Oh,
Right.
It swoops back down and comes down towards Fellavaai, who's nearest to the edge. Fellavaai, I need you to make a challenge roll body, please.
Oh boy, is
That's a
that
single
one
die.
dice?
It's 1 die.
That's so fun. That's a 2.
Okay. You are slammed by this energy, which knocks you down and leaves you debilitated,
Ooh, what
which
is that?
means you cannot take actions, and actions taken against you are at decreased difficulty. If you are injured while debilitated, the debilitated effect ends, and you cannot be debilitated the next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Meanwhile, however, the bird is going to attack you with its beak at decreased difficulty.
That checks out.
That's a 3-3. I'm going to bump 1-3 to a 4 for a standard hit, causing you 3 injuries as you
Should we go
fall, and
down?
it just catches you with its beak. And it scratches you a little bit, and then there's this electrical zap that you feel as well as part of that injury. However, it shocks you out of your debilitated state, and you are only slowed for the moment because you are prone, which means that your physical movement distance is halved until the end of the next turn.
You guys hear them scream.
And Sif, you're right there as again tries to claw with its talon at you, and that is a 1.
Ooh.
I'm going to let's do reprisal. Let's show off reprisal.
Okay.
So Sif, if you'll roll 2d4 for me, please.
I got a 4 and a 2.
All right. The creature, as it flies by, Sif, you duck out of the way, and it clips itself on the ship, and it takes 1 injury from that. And then it passes overhead again, swooping around as it does, back to its position, and that takes us to Sif's turn.
Right. So it's about 20 feet up, yes?
Yeah.
Would you agree that this staircase puts me closer than 20 feet?
Probably 15.
Perfect. Sif is going to look at Fellavaai and go, we're going to talk about this later. And then he's going to run as fast as he can to the edge here, jump and fly at this thing, and attempt to do his move.
It's die bomb.
His die bomb. He's gonna die bomb the die bomber.
All right.
Let's go.
That is a decreased difficulty.
And it's a good thing because I got a double 3.
Okay, so double 3s, even on a decrease, that is a hit plus recovery.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a double hit, but it's a hit and recovery. But assuming you're using like a shadowy strike, that's 2d4 for damage for you because of your innate ability.
And I got a 4 and a 2, so 6.
Okay.
Woo!
All right.
I'm also right in its face.
Yeah, you're right there with it.
There's some
flying
trade-off.
around behind it. Yeah.
There's a little trade-off here.
And that's it for you, right?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, that takes us to Fellavaai.
Run and gun, baby. Let's do this.
I think Fellavaai is on the ground rather stunned and putting the pieces together of course it was the Swihu that came out and there were 7 of them. They were dead. There were 7 of us. And the shadows beneath Fellavaai push her to stand. As there is the terror and that dread, the catastrophe, the tragedy pulling at her. He knew that this was going to happen and didn't give enough warning, didn't take themselves seriously enough, got caught up, and is fully panicking. But in that panic, sees Sif, sees Sorek, sees Dixie hurt, very hurt. I don't know if Lenai bleed or if they become cracked.
Everything is organic.
Fantastic.
Even though, yeah.
Then seeing the blood, despite it maybe being a different color than their own, knows what it means and has seen this occur before and is going to stumble back and try to void heal Dixie.
Okay. You can do 1 or 2 dice.
I'm going to do 2 because of how hurt Dixie
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Because I really need it to work. And I'm glad I did. Because I will use a primacy to make that 1-3 a 1-4.
Okay. That is a D4 to heal Dixie.
Come on, be good. 3.
Nice. Okay.
And that same shape of the shadows peeling back, and it doesn't get all of the wounds, perhaps in Fellavaai's panic or just in the extent of what she's manifesting, but some of the rips and tears in Dixie from the claws and the pecs mend itself and go back to what it once was.
And I think Dixie just giggles when that happens.
There's like the faintest bit of relief that Dixie is cackling in such a terrifying situation, and it also makes everything worse. And I think Fellavaai is going to try and take cover in this little area here.
Okay. Yeah. So that constitutes partial cover, which gives you an armor factor of 2 while you're behind that. So that doesn't actually add to your, it's not necessarily something on you, but it's part of your environment that gives you that protection.
Love. That's great.
All right. And that takes us back to the top of the order. The captain is still managing the ship. Zork, you are helping tension cable so they can fire again. Your dice restore, so you can use 1 die and still have 1 for that automatic action.
Okay, so I'm using 1 die to help with the reload.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry, you used your 1 die to help with the reload. No, you used your die to move. So yes, 1 die to help reload. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so 1 die to help reload, and then I'm going to see. With my other die, I would like to try to affect this creature. What's the name of this creature that's attacking us again?
I'm not sure you know.
Okay. Well, whatever this creature is, I would like to try to hobble it. I would like to try to hobble one of its wings.
Okay.
So that it let's see.
Makes it more difficult for it to attack, or it slows it.
Well, attacks against it will be at a decreased difficulty. So I'm thinking that maybe that will help Sif. If successful, it might help Sif with their attack.
Yeah, it would also increase the difficulty of its attacks.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it a try. I only have one die to do it, so I need to roll a 4 basically, right?
So you're shouting at it, right? Is that what you're trying to do?
It's a melodic shout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like in Nephis.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Come on, 4. Come on, 4. It's a 4.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
now,
go!
because that's a status attack, it does get a challenge.
Okay.
That's different from an injury. So, as you shout at the bird, a peal of thunder and a gust of wind carries your voice away, and it does not seem to impact the bird. I just rolled a 4.
No.
Okay. All right. That's all right.
The right idea. Okay, so that was Zorix. So then we go to. Okay, so Waven's by themselves. So they've got to reload by themselves. So that's what they're doing. And TC is going to fire. That is a 1-2. Okay.
Oh, no.
Does anybody have a hell die? They don't. Nobody has a hell die. So TC will have to use a technology primacy to avoid that reprisal, and then we'll just recover the primacy point.
Oh,
that takes us
if you up it to, that's cool.
Yeah, that's one of your options for recovery.
You could use the privacy to make it double so that you could get the recovery. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can help you avoid disaster. So.
And losing all your resources.
Yeah.
Your meta currency, as they say.
Or
very good.
calamity.
Or tragedy. It is Dixie's turn. So Dixie runs back toward the edge. And having success last time doing what they tried to do, they'll just try to do it again. So they clench their fist and they throw their arm in the air. That is a high success.
Let's go!
So Dixie punches, the fist forms, and Sif, you see this thing come just flying right past you and thump into the torso of the bird. The torso of this thing's about 8 feet long, and then the wings are about 3 times that.
Yeah.
It punches into this creature for maximum damage.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Dixie gets automatic recovery, so they are going to restore one of their missing primacy. I'm sorry, not missing primacy, one of their injuries.
Right.
And reduce the damage. So Dixie's getting stronger. Dixie just made a major attack on the creature. However, it is now the creature's turn.
Oh, gosh.
Sif, as you are flying behind it, having just come up and attacked it, it kicks one of its claws out at you. I'm going to do a 2-die attack. That's a 3-4. I'm going to spend primacy to bump it. Rolled a 1. So that is a total of 3 from the claw attack plus 2 points of electrical damage. You take 5 injuries as this thing claws into you and shocks you. And then it dives at Dixie.
There goes my temporary armor.
Dixie has to make a body challenge again. No, for a 2. Dixie is slammed down again and debilitated. And with its last attack die, the creature tries to bite. That is a 2. I will bump it to a 3 for success, and Dixie will take 3 injuries only.
I'm doing all my hard work out here.
And Dixie's no longer debilitated, and the creature flies around again. And it seems Sif to take note of you in its space. And it is your turn. Sif.
Yeah. I'm remembering, because I'm flying, I had the obscured condition.
On that initial move.
Right. And that's what gives me that extra hit, right?
Right.
Or the extra damage.
Right.
Cool. All right. Making sure I understand mechanics. Right. So it clocks me. Well, I've clocked it. I'm going to swing around, fly around 16 feet around it, and come at it from a different angle.
All right.
Getting my obscuring. Again, I will be just facing it when I attack.
How do I move this thing out of the way?
That is a 3 and a 2. I'm going to use a primacy point to bump it to a 4.
Your 3 is already hit?
The 3 is a, yeah.
Yep.
You could bump the 2 to a 3.
But that would just be recovery?
I could use, actually.
Okay. Yeah, you're free to do that if you wish. Yeah.
I'm going to do that and use the primacy to recover an injury because, ow.
Okay. Yeah, good call. As you swoop back up underneath it, it seems to have lost track of you. How do you take this creature out?
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, I only did 3 damage to it, so it's not amazing. But I think I'm just gonna hit it right where Dixie's fist impacted, and my strike just sort of concaves the chest in, as though the bones were already fractured, and I just break them the rest of the way.
Right.
And then I just watch it fall into the ocean.
Yes, as it does. And it floats on the top of the water for a moment and then gradually starts to sink. You can still move, I think. You still have a little bit. You moved 16. No, you moved your
I'm
max.
done. Yeah.
You could, and you spent your dice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just flying as the boat is sailing toward me.
Yeah. Dixie stumbles away from the edge. What do the rest of you do?
Fellavaai, I think, is kind of cowering on the ground. I think similar to Sif with Captain Peary, of just terrified. And where their robes have been clawed, you can see almost in their shadow behind them where those claws would be on their person. There's like crackling in their shadow, and they seem to be in pain.
Sif is going to look at Zorik as he alights down under the ship and just be like, what wasn't that bad? And there's like blood like sort of leaking out of me.
Zorik is going to move forward towards Sif and sort of like pull them close and say, now that is a bird to worry about. And then he's going to just whisper in Sif's ear this calming, soothing, healing song And I'm going to try to use Healing Song to provide some help to my friend.
Don't forget to start with me.
Okay. You. So what do I roll for that, Ty?
It's out of turn order, so that's a call roll, and you get one shot at it.
Okay. 4 and a 1.
Okay, you may roll a d4 to restore those points, or you may remove a impediment. Okay, nice.
This die is hot.
I feel all the way better. Thank you.
You are welcome. And then Zorak's going to turn and look back towards his other companions and try to do the same if they can.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, it's one attempt out of turn order per target.
Who else is injured? Dixie and Fellavaai? Are any of the crew injured?
No.
I didn't think the crew got it.
All right, so I'll try for Dixie next. 4 and a 2. Same die keeps rolling up 4s. Come on, do another 4. 2. All right, so a 2, a healing on Dixie. And then he'll run over to Fellavaai. Are you okay?
No.
Was that the dread that you saw? And the waves, I assume the waves are still like throwing the vessel around at this point, right? There's still a storm.
It's bobbing pretty good. Yeah, the storm has not encroached any closer, but there's energy. Okay.
I will sing that similar song to Fellavaai. And that's a 2 and a 1.
Okay. So that is a high failure, and since it's a manifestation, you are at risk of reprisal unless you want to bump the 1 to a 2 or the 2 to a 1. Either way, as long as you get doubles. But the 2/2 would give you recovery.
Yeah, I'll bump it. I'll use a primacy.
Okay. What do you want?
I can't try again, right?
No, not for Fellavaai.
Okay. So
can I possibly describe how it fails?
Yeah. Unless
is that okay with you, Dave?
Sure. Go ahead.
I think as you're approaching Fellavaai, you see their shadow, that crackling in it, and every time the thunder strikes, the shadow like dissipates for a moment and comes back as shadow does with light, but it becomes more and more agitated. And as you like approach, like maybe put a hand on Fellavaai and try to say something, the shadows in your throat block any sound.
I think I'm going to invoke a support on myself.
Okay.
And supports are generally just for a short period of time, right?
They last until the end of your next. They last till the end of your next turn.
I'm going to use the braced support.
Okay.
Just because it seems thematically, even though it may not help mechanically, it seems thematically appropriate.
Okay, you're going to shore up your sea legs and be prepared to defend yourself if anything else attacks.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fellavaai, you actually have healing you can do if you wish to try, if you wish to attempt.
I think that Fellavaai is. I think the physical pain that they are feeling from their the attack that was done is also kind of hitting a part of their soul, of the way that their shadow is pulling and trying to reach away and trying to go. It feels like a part of them is trying to leave. And I think that they are stuck in that pain and don't know what to do, and are very scared. And I think that they are just sitting on the top of the ship, like hugging their knees, just not knowing what to do.
A little bit of shock. Okay. Captain says, "Well done. I don't even know what that was. I've not seen it.
I have.
You have?
Not in that form, but yes.
Are there more of them?
There was only one when I dealt with them. There was just one.
Zork will just kind of put an arm around Fellavaai, kind of sensing the pain. We're okay for now, right, Captain?
Yes. Yes, you should rest. You should rest. The crew and I will take care of the voyage. You should get out of the rain.
I do not like storms.
Nor do I. Come, let's go below decks and find a place to try and rest.
Yeah. I think Fellavaai lets himself be guided by Zorek.
Okay. If there's nothing else, the light of the sky crystal marks a new phase when you wake again. Joining the crew, you find Piri in high spirits. Nice fighting against the sky beast, she says. I hope to never see one of those again. I doubt we could have survived it if it weren't for you lot.
It was nothing.
I disagree, but I do appreciate your modesty.
Sif, you were right up there with it. That was very brave.
It is my way, and it was a bird. It would be. It would be not fair to fight it from the ground.
Do you think that it saw us as prey, or did we anger it somehow?
It seemed to be mad, in the mind. It was not attacking smartly, so I don't think it was hunting. More like Fellavaai's birds. It was just lashing out.
Seems as though the coincidence of this creature in the storm is a bit too much for me.
It is possibly what Lutu talked about, the enemy.
Do you think Lutu knew that this would happen?
No, I don't. Fellavaai, you saw it coming, or felt it.
Yes.
So it maybe Lutu knew, but couldn't tell us.
Lutu stated that he knows things that he cannot tell us yet. I won't begin to assume what they are.
You know, Fellavaai, you hold yourself back.
What do you mean?
You are more filled with fear than I am. That bird in the sky, your void could have torn it apart.
I did not want to see someone else die.
I
Someone else that I consider a friend.
I understand, but your power is capable. I think you just need to believe in yourself.
Sif, I am unsure if this is my power or not.
It is not mine. So whoever's it is, if you can use it, do it. Also, Zarek, your voice is nice.
That is true.
Thank you. I'm lucky to have it.
Dixie says, you have a nice voice too, Seth.
I was going to say, Dixie, good punch.
Yeah, I know, right? I just grabbed up the water, I threw up my arm, and I brought it all in there, and I brought the cousins and the brothers and the sisters and everybody, and then especially the second one. Yeah, and I was really mad about it. I don't get all that mad, but I was really mad, and then I just hit it really hard. It hit me really hard too.
Yeah.
Thank you
That was a doozy.
for your courage in those moments and your abilities.
We're all pretty amazing, huh? That's
We
why
did
I'm
what
Lucy Pickens.
we did what we had to do when it needed to get done. And that's something to celebrate. And we're all still here, aren't we?
Yeah, let me ride the bolt.
No.
The remainder of the trip carries you into the following darkening. And you wake again at the start of the new phase, anchored off the sandy beaches and green hillocks of the Venu Talle. Your destination, announces Ktyria. Will we be waiting? We haven't really made that clear yet. And we're going to assume, Zork, that you paid the tattoos that were required the previous day.
Yeah, I probably would have done a 4 value tattoo for the captain.
Okay.
And I would tell them, how long would you be willing to wait for us if I were to offer to your crew members the same?
Well, that would be, make a call roll lore for me.
2 and a 1.
That would take care of passage for, well, we could wait really a few thousand breaths, because that would pretty much cover partial transportation to get you back to Catcher's Reef, but not for all of you. So that would be half of you.
If you will wait for as long as you can, we will provide you with value in tattoos for your crew and twice as much with what we may bring from the interior of this place. We will come with something for you.
I would also like to mention, or ask, I suppose, if you have anything else waiting for you. If there are other callings.
Oh, the port is busy all the time. There's plenty to do. travel up and down the coast. We travel back and forth to the archipelago. We sometimes just take the vessel out and fish with it. There's always some way to make value.
Sif is going to step up to the captain and look up at her and go, I think you owe us at least 2 days for saving you.
Let's go, Sid. Yes, sir.
Make a called roll mind, and I'm going to challenge it if you succeed.
I have no skill in the mind, and I got double 3s.
Okay.
You gonna bump it?
I
Can't. No, it doesn't have primacy for that.
Well, you do have key
Oh.
point.
I do have a key point. I will bump it to
Right.
4.
Oh.
However,
You roll the 4.
No.
roll a 4. And the captain says, I paid close attention, Sifaxu, and it looks like you saved yourselves because my crew was left unharmed.
Sif is gonna shrink like he got hit by a shrink ray. Just right. Well, whatever.
Captain, if you are here when we return, we will pay for passage. If you are not, are there others who we could trust here? Other ships, perhaps, that we might encounter?
I can't tell you the schedule, but they'll be back. They come and go from this area all the time.
They who?
Ships. Sailors.
Exactly. Which of those would we be able to trust to provide us with safe passage? We don't want to book passage with pirates, for example, or those that would maroon us somewhere or dump us overboard.
Well, I can't exactly speak for who might show up in the bay because there's no way to account for that. However, I've not been aware of pirate ships in this area of the archipelago. The Selku keep an eye on the coast. They protect their interests here on the Venitali very acutely. It would be bad if there were infestations of piracy around here to a great degree because no one would come out this way. So you can rest assured that anyone that anchors in the bay is likely out of Catcher's Reef. It's not even likely that anyone would come down too far south from up the coast, but there are other villages as well that have ports, and there are a number up and down the coast of the main landmass.
Very well.
You wouldn't be here more than, I would say, maybe more than 2 phases if we were to leave before you were ready to go back. But I will give you a full phase and then make a decision if I don't see you by then.
It's the best that we can ask for, Captain.
Also, I'll have Waven carry you ashore in the rowboat.
Thank you.
And I'll have Waven wait on shore for a few thousand breaths as well. Very well. Waven drives the skiff onto the sandy beach, leaping into the shallow surf to pull the boat securely ashore. Okay, get off, they say. A few dozen shins inland, you see a dense growth of tall, thin trees, unlike those of the forests of the main landmass. Equally dense undergrowth, half a shin tall, hides the ground beneath, and the shadowed interior is dark enough to almost suggest the need for a light source to see. Strange animal calls emanate from within. As you depart the boat, Wavem says, I will wait for 4,000 breaths for you to return. If you are not back by then, you can hail us from the proud bow and I will come back. We will watch for you.
Thank you.
Very well. You stand on the beach, staring into this heavy tropical-like undergrowth. That's where we'll end for this session.
Oh man, I'm so proud
Venu
of Sif.
Talle.
I'm so proud of Sif.
I mean, it sort of worked.
That was great. It was a good try. It probably took a lot for Sif to even give it a try, right? To like to say that to the captain. So that was a win right there.
It hit Fellavaai in a great way.
Sif, there's been 2 fights, and Sif has dealt death in both of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
Our warrior.
a lot more deadly than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, it's like maybe he's a really good hunter.
Like
Yeah.
maybe he's a really good hunter.
Himself.
Well, this is Tim talking, not Sif. Sif is the one in trying to overcome his
inferiority complex.
Yeah, his inferiority
Yeah.
complex.
Yeah. Love it. Well, that was great. We are in Venu Talle with opportunity
how many breaths,
before us.
Scottish Jeff? I want to say 7,000 breaths.
No, until the next episode, it's 168,000.
168,000 breaths. Holy Toledo.
Oh, hours. Oh,
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Right.
Yeah, Wavem is waiting 4 hours for us on shore.
Well, thank you everyone for spending some time with us tonight in the chat. We appreciate you very much, and thanks to this awesome group of players. Let's go around the tabletop here and do some outros. Let's start with Tim.
I am Tim. I am Sif, the stuttering bird man who deals death, apparently. Much to his surprise. Yeah, you can find me here next week. Also in the coming what do I call it, Dave?
You're gonna be participating in the Shadows of Greyhawk summer adventures, basically.
Summer adventures. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's the terminology I needed.
Yeah.
So you'll see me back here for that at some point. And Ty reminded me on our intros, you can also find me over on the Adventure Slang podcast, as well as the Tales of Nephis, which is the solo play. I am a voice person who I do a couple characters. One of them has died. Ty's killed me even when I'm not playing. So it's the way our
effect.
It's the way our relationship works. But yeah, you can find me there and around.
I'm jealous of your youth.
Yeah. and as always on Discord, I'm all over the place. So
heck yeah,
that's me.
Tim, thank you so much for being here. Love Sif. What a great character. Rachel, Ktyria, and your friend. Do you have a friend there that we can just barely see?
No one else can see him, sadly. I might be able to get him in my lap, but his name is Toby, and he's the best.
Hey, Toby.
I'm Rachel, also known as Ktyria. And as you have been watching, I play Fellavaai, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful time to be here and to play this character and to relish in this world that Ty has made. It's so fun. I'm so happy, and I can't wait for next week. I'm so excited. That's me.
Hello, Toby. Toby wants to get in your lap.
Yeah, he does. He can.
Toby
wants to stream.
Come on, buddy. You can come here.
Sif is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Captain Peary.
All right. Well, while we're trying to coax our furry friend onto screen, we'll jump over to Ty. Ty, thank you so much for bringing this game to the channel and being so creative with the story. Really appreciate it. Explain to people where we're at with Nuovarden and where they can find it.
Okay. Yes.
Please.
Nuovarden, the digital file is available at DriveThruRPG. You can access it through the link here in the chat, or you can go to adventureslang.com. where you can see more about it. Also, check out the podcasts. The print files, honestly, the print files are live at DriveThruRPG, and I am very confident in them. I'm just not saying a whole lot about getting the word out there until I get the proofs, but they are there, and I'm very happy with the product now that it's finally complete. It's been a very long process. And if you're enjoying this and you want to check it out, there are a couple of options to do that. There is still the old beta rules as well on the website if you want to get those for free and just check it out to get some idea about how it works. Tonight, we experienced the challenge roll. So I think that was the first time we've seen that on this, at least to that degree. We saw a new creature, the Oon or Own, that was a concept that Tim created and I Nuovardenized for this this session. So that was a new creature, not in the rule book, but you will find it eventually in expansion materials. So there you go. What else did we see maybe for the first time as far as rules go?
Reprisal. We had a reprisal roll.
Reprisal, yes. When a creature attempts to manifest or make an attack action and gets a high failure, which is a 2-1 or a 3-1 that cannot be changed or is not changed, then there is a 2-die roll that results in injury and or being slowed, or in some cases hobbled, if a 4 is rolled or double 4s. So it's a risk for a miss that can have impact. There's an obscure rule too, by the way, in Nuovarden that I have not mentioned. If you are down to like your last IS and you want to use an item that you're holding or a piece of armor to sacrifice in place of the injury that would take you to 0, you can do that. And then the item is broken. So it's not immediately able to be.
Neat.
That's cool.
Replaced. Yeah. There's also another obscure rule that you can spend 2 IS as a free action to restore 1 primacy if you need it. Sort of a life energy in exchange for, because primacy goes pretty fast sometimes. So those are some of the subtle details that you would find in the full rule. Other than that, DungeonMisterTy, I am actually going to be participating. I think this has been advertised now in Bleak Season's birthday one-shot, playing the Flame Princess's Lament game system.
Ooh, fun.
And that is on June 5th or 6th. I can't remember which day, but you can check that out at Folk and Myth. Among some other things that I'll be doing throughout the summer. Plus, I will be here and on the podcasts and on social media. So adventuresling.com is where I'm at.
The summer of Nuovarden.
Yes. Yeah. So awesome.
Love it.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, I'm Dave. You guys know me. We have coming up next Tuesday, we'll be returning to Greyhawk as part of our Shadows of Greyhawk campaign. And we will be participating in the Summer of Siege with the transition our game over to the Castles and Crusades rule set, which I think is going to be a really good fit for the upcoming mini arcs that are happening. With Tim is going to be part of that, and very excited for that. We've got a bunch of great folks: Jose and Andy and Flea Monkey and Anna B. Meyer, Vamp Wickman, Phantom NJ, Sundance Sid, Doc Shoulder, Rachel, Ktyria, Scottish Jeff, Penborough. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of fun. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun stuff happening this summer. So super excited. But that all kicks off next Tuesday. And then, of course, we'll be back here for another session of Nuovarden now that we have arrived at Venu Talle. I'm so excited to see what this place has to offer us. We are going to kick it over to the title screen here, but we are going to raid into Split the Party TV. It looks like they're playing some superhero games. So let's go ahead and give them some good old-fashioned Guild Superior love as we raid into them. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you on Tuesday. Have a great week. We love you and appreciate you all. Take care.
Bye.